Okay, so here's a narrated slideshow for perspective. Okay, so we have to remember what the picture plane is, and it's just the paper that you're working on and its boundaries. So you can think of it like a plate of glass that you could draw on where all your elements in the picture are arranged in depth. Um, Artists can indicate the distance of the things that they are drawing on the picture plane by things using things like size changes, overlapping, and if something's placed higher on your page, it's going to appear further away than something that's placed lower on your page. It'll feel like it's closer to you. The horizon line, also known as the eye level, and this is a line in perspective where the sky meets the ground. Um, or again, it can also represent your eye level. It's the first thing you're going to draw in a perspective drawing. The placement on the line of this line on your paper, the picture plane depends on your vantage point. So if you are sitting on the ground looking at something and just looking straight ahead, your horizon line is going to be low on the ground. And if you're looking at things like boxes and stuff, the horizon line can represent your eye level. So if it's below your eye level, you can see the top. If, like, the box is above your eye level, you could look up and see the bottom. So that's just kind of important to know when you're drawing objects. The vanishing point or points are um, the point on the horizon line, which all the edges that are parallel in reality appear to converge. Now, those lines are called orthogonals. They're always going to be drawn from a corner of an object to a vanishing point, and it's super important that you draw them light because oftentimes they're like construction lines. You're going to erase a bunch of those things. There's three types of perspective, and we're going to explore the first two on some drawings. The first one is one point perspective. You just have one vanishing point. Once you place it, it'll never move, and all your orthogonals will converge at that one vanishing point. And then two vanishing points. Um, you'll have two vanishing points on your horizon line, and all your orthogonals will go to one or the other. And 3 point we really won't worry about. So let's look at some examples of this. Okay, so this top one here is one point perspective. These lines on the side, those would be your orthogonals. They look like they're slanted, okay, and they're going down to this one vanishing point. This one's 2 point perspective. This is used when you're drawing a view from a corner. So you want to see the corner of the object like this. It's what's in front of you. And your orthogonals, the lines that slope down, and your vanishing points in this picture somewhere here and here, and your horizon line is hidden by the landscape. And then there's an example of 3 point. Now, perspective is going to help us create the appearance of depth. So that's super important to know. So it's going to create this illusion of space. Other tools that you can use are overlapping size changes and detail changes as seen in this picture here. Okay, so when do we use these types of perspective? So 1 point is used when you're facing a flat surface, like say you're just facing a wall directly. 2 point perspective is used when you're viewing an object from a corner. So the corner is the first thing that you see, and this is going to become really important. So historically, with perspective, people like to use these a lot to create these illusion of spaces in important buildings. So we see an example of a fresco in a church in Italy in about the 1400s. And then we see a line drawing of the perspective used. And again, this would be 1 point perspective. Your horizon line or eye level would be right here. The slanted lines are your orthogonals. And here's a simple illustration of it. So this is the flat surface I was telling you guys about. So when you're facing a flat surface, I'm going to use 1 point perspective. You draw the flat surface, you'll draw your orthogonals as the next step, going down to your vanishing point, and then you'll end up finishing the shape. And this line will just mirror the line that's in front of it. Here's just like another example so you can see some other types of drawings in one-point perspective. Um, Now, if you're looking at this, if you have your packet, you can mark it on the page. If you don't worry about it. But we're just going to look for the orthogonals to determine where our eye level is and our vanishing point. So if you look in the architecture, these slanted lines are your orthogonals, and they're even in the floor. Okay, they're pointing somewhere to an area back here between these guys' heads. Remember, the vanishing point's always on the horizon line, so our horizon line will go somewhere right along there. Oh, maybe something like this. Again, if you have your packet, you can do this. If you don't, it's really okay. Now, this picture here to its edge would be considered our picture plane. Now, sometimes a vanishing point doesn't always go in the middle of the page. So if you look at this, we'll follow the lines of the architecture again, going down. These are going to meet somewhere, maybe over here. It could be somewhere like right around here. It could even be off the page, and that's okay. Some famous artists over time that have used perspective, we get Albrecht Dürer, and he was a printmaker. And then we can see this is one-point perspective. Right? We're not facing a corner, we're facing this back wall, and all these lines are sloping down to somewhere right about in here. Vincent van Gogh, not as tight as a drawing, it's a painting, but he's using a lot of things that we are talking about. So we get linear perspective. So his vanishing point somewhere down here. You can kind of look at these sloping lines to figure out about the area it's at. And then he's also using things like size changes, bigger tables in front, smaller tables back here. And I guess we could say detail changes. We can see a little bit more detail here versus in the background. And then a student drawing in one-point perspective. We're not directly facing a corner. Don't let these corners confuse you. We can start tracing all these lines. Right? All these lines that look diagonal, they're orthogonals, and they're going down to a vanishing point somewhere here. Okay, this would be a flat surface that we're facing. And then M.C. Escher, having a one-point perspective view of the structure and then putting different views of the moon back here. So we get this kind of crazy optical illusion effect. Okay, so some rules about one-point perspective. You're always going to start with your horizon line. Okay, so you're going to place that, and then you're going to do your vanishing point on that line depending on your view. It could be in the middle, it could be on the side, but it's always going to be on the horizon line. And once you start drawing in stuff, you can't move it. You're going to draw the shape of the flat surface you're facing next. And then from the corner of that, if it's a box, you're going to draw the orthogonals from the corner to the vanishing point. And then some general rules about one-point perspective is all your vertical lines, because we are going to be drawing boxes, should be perpendicular to your horizon line. They have to be. And all your horizontal lines you draw in one-point perspective are going to be parallel to your horizon line. All your diagonals and curves will be parallel to themselves. And pretty much if it's not one of these lines, it should be an orthogonal. I'm going to go ahead and stop this presentation here, and then we'll continue on with 2-point. Yeah, in a different presentation.